The Kentucky Wildcats go to Nashville and lose to the Vanderbilt Commodores. We're going to talk about it and preview a big matchup with the Tennessee Volunteers on today's episode of the Wildcats Today Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak, writer over at Kentucky Wildcats on SI, joined, as always, by Carson Nash. Carson, we were in Nashville this weekend. Despite the loss, it was a fun time. Thoughts on the weekend, besides the loss, just the weekend as a whole?
Yeah, it was a good weekend, I thought, other than the game. I'll exclude the game for a moment.
Yeah.
But, yeah, anytime we get to go down to Nashville and, we don't get back to the hotel room till 5 o'clock, something went well. But it was a good weekend, a lot of fun, a lot of Sprites drank. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was. But I'll tell you this. I now can speak to this from full experience. Anyone that was at the game can say the same thing. The worst thing that's ever happened to me is walking out of that arena and having the Vandy frat guys wave by. That's an all-time low. An all-time low. It's having the Vandy frat guys wave by to you. That is just sickening. Truly sickening. Carson, what did you say? What did you say to the one person? What did they say to you and you said to them?
Well, this was after basically a 10-minute sit down with Andrew telling me to not do anything stupid. But yes, I walked by and all I said, I was like, good win, guys. And they were like, thank you. And then one of the girls that was with them was like, you too. I was like, that's so Vandy. That's so Vandy.
See, I killed them with kindness. That they were trying to crap talk because they were all standing there. If I had had a few more Sprites, it could have been a scissor kick. I ain't gonna lie, but I just hit them with the, all right, have a good night, guys. You got to kill them with kindness because then oh man, these guys are having a tough time. They just lost this basketball game, and now we're kind of being cuss words, and hey, you get in their head that way. They're like, man, those Kentucky fans were so nice to us when we were crap talking them. That's how you leave them, unless you're Tennessee fans. Then you cuss them out.
Well, I guess
Tennessee fans.
When you've won 10 games in your whole program's history, you probably stand outside when you win them. So that's what I would assume.
Cool for them though. 2 back-to-back top 10 wins at home on a Saturday. You got to have something fun to do at Vandy other than architecture. You know what I mean?
Broadway is pretty fun.
Yeah, and then that one frat guy said to us, and this guy, bro, just like, sup, bro? And they're like, bro. And this guy's like, yo, here comes the Broadway guys. And
he did.
Carson and Kate and Zach were like, where are we supposed to go? We're tourists. Do you want us to go to your local Vandy bars and ruin it? No, we're tourists. Where we go, we're tourists. What? You got us, man. You got us.
Not to mention, I don't know, Vandy students would be the most fun to hang out with.
No, I don't know if I'd want to go to the Vandy bar. I'm good. Thank you. I'm all good. But congrats to Vandy on a very rare win. But we're going to break this game down, Carson. But the sad reality is you got to flip the switch because you're going to Knoxville tomorrow. So you got to, losing 3 games in a row in this conference is going to really hurt, and you got to find a way to avoid that. And it's not going to be easy at all playing at Tennessee. But Carson, who was that Kentucky team we saw on Saturday? I just, something didn't look right.
Yeah, anytime Lamont Butler has 6 turnovers, you're questioning what is going on. It just looked almost like it looked like the Georgia game almost, all systems failure. You don't look like you want to be there almost. It was just a poorly executed game from us from square one. As soon as the ball tipped, you could tell it was going to be a long day. Never really fluid. Only had, 11 assists. So never really got the offense going at all. And Vandy outplayed you the whole game, except for your run at the beginning of the second half. That was a good run, and we really needed that. But, you got blown out in the first half and had to make a run in the second half just to get the game close. So it was really, really bad game all around, and hopefully we can make some changes, drastic changes before Tuesday.
You know what really grinded my gears was making that run, because we tied it. We went on a run to literally tie the game.
We were up,
half, right?
We were up by 7 points at one point, 58-51.
But no, yeah. So we ended up tying it. Well, I was talking about when we tied it.
They hit a banked in 3. This was the biggest point of the game. They hit a banked in 3 when it was 58-51.
I thought we discussed this. I thought the banked in 3 was in the first half.
Was it? I don't know.
I'm certain.
We lose every if another team banks in a 3, turn off the TV. You know what's going to happen.
I actually saw someone tweet
and it's
that.
always their freaking center. It's always the other team's center that banks in a freaking 3-pointer that had no chance of going in.
Yeah, Tristan Ferris tweeted, in 3 of Kentucky's 5 losses, the team has made a banked-in 3-pointer.
There's got to be a stat. Like, there has to be a stat of how many. Like, if a team banks in a 3-pointer, we're probably going to lose.
When you don't get one back, you see that a lot in basketball. When someone banks one in, then you kind of get the one back. And okay, fine, we're even. That's fine. When you don't get one back, it's when you know you're losing.
Mm-hmm.
But I still do think that banked in 3 was in the first half. I don't know why.
You're probably right. Again, we were
arguing about that for like 2 days now. We were like driving home. They were like, no, that wasn't because I watched it. I remember the 3 that when we were up 7 or whatever, the 3, I like looked down for like 3 seconds and looked back up and they made a 3 and I didn't see it. And I saw the banked one. It was in the first half. Pretty sure. But still, I mean, regardless, they had a 3.
My memory is a bit choppy from Saturday, so give me some grace there.
Yeah, he's like Luke Combs, put a lime in a few Pacificos. But I mean, to me, the play that really killed us was the holding. I mean, I'm not talking like a little grab, the like pick up and throw on the ground of Amari Williams, and then the travel leading to a 3. That swing that really did. It
ended the game.
It did. I mean, that killed you. I don't know what else you can say about that. That swing killed you. But I'd like to be. I would rather not be in a position to have to worry about it. I would rather.
Yeah, it was a horrible no call on both sides of the ball, but I'm not going to gripe on that. You should beat Vandy, like, regardless.
Yeah, you shouldn't need that call. You should have that call should have made it a 10-point game. You know, I mean, like, so I mean, Ainsley really showed up when it came to his shooting. Turned the ball over once, but 4 rebounds, 4 or 5 from 3 in this ball game, in replacing Andrew Carr, who did not play. I was impressed with him. What are your thoughts on the assists, Carson?
Yeah, I mean, Vandy had 21 and we had 11. I mean, that pops off the stat sheet. And then we also had 17 turnovers to their 5. So that also pops off the stat sheet. So whenever those 2 things happen, you're probably not going to win very many games.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. I mean, but it's just in this conference, this is a game you can't lose. I know that they're ranked now. I get that. Good, but they're not that good. I mean, they're not. You know what I mean? They've played a pretty weak beginning of their SEC schedule. They got Mississippi State at home, at LSU, at Missouri, tough game. South Carolina at home, Tennessee at home, at Alabama. No, they haven't actually. I just lied. That's pretty tough. But it's also the SEC. You know, but when a couple of your wins are coming against LSU and South Carolina, that helps a little bit. But still, I mean, this is the SEC. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be.
And what frustrates me too is that wasn't a road game. I mean, by any means, we outnumbered them by a lot. Like, there was way more Kentucky fans than Vandy fans in that game by a good number. So that was a road home game. So that was one that we really needed to win.
Yeah. But I mean, I think Trent Noah. We got to talk about while it comes to my brain. He gave some damn good 12 minutes of hard, gritty basketball. 4 rebounds, 3 offensive. He gives you 2 points. He has a steal, doesn't turn the ball over. Trent Noah earned himself some playing time, especially if it sounds like this Andrew Carr thing might be, he could miss a few more games with that back injury. Trent Noah needs to be on the court just because they hustle. I mean, he just hustles, and we know he can shoot it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Any kid that's willing to go sacrifice his body like Trent Noah did against Vandy should get any amount of playing time that he wants, honestly. He had 4 rebounds in 12 minutes, 3 offensive rebounds in 12 minutes. That has not happened for the Wildcats this year. But I think he has definitely earned some. Him and Ansley are starting to gradually earn more minutes by each game. You know, I think Trent's in a sticky situation because he could also play the 3. He's more of a 3 than like a 4. So he's battling with Robinson and Brea for his minutes, where I think Ansley's kind of just battling with Carr. But I would love to see them work him in for more minutes for sure.
I mean, I was just so impressed with those minutes for him because it's hustle. Hustle wins basketball games. And
especially in a game like that where nothing's really going your way and you need to get some dirty work done, and he did that.
He gave us 3 opportunities to score second chance points in this game with 3 offensive rebounds. I mean, I'm pretty sure one of them was a putback layup. I think he himself scored. I think his bad was it was either he stole it and laid it in or he got an offensive rebound and laid it in. But I remember it was under the rim. So I was just really impressed with those minutes from him. But I mean, it sounds like you're going to be without Carr. The verbiage from Coach Pope, it's one of those injuries to me where like he could play tomorrow against Tennessee, but you're going to see a performance you saw against Alabama where he can't move. He looks slow. I mean, his back is hurt. I mean, that's just the reality. So, I mean, I don't think you see Carr for a few games to try and really heal that back up. And I think it's going to hurt us a little bit.
No, I 100% agree. And you're going to have to find a way to get production out of his minutes, right? You got to work in Ansley. You got to work in Trent. You just got to throw different things on the table to see where you can get back to that productive, you know, like losing Andrew Carr is it. I mean, I'm going to be honest. It's the reason why we lost the last 2 games. I mean, we would have beat Alabama with a healthy Andrew Carr, and we definitely would have beat Vanderbilt with a healthy Andrew Carr. You're telling me their tallest player 6'7"? Like Andrew Carr would have reached over top of him and laid it in every time. I mean, you could do that every time. But I mean, you got to get these guys healthy, especially for the SEC tournament in March. But you can't lose too many of these games while doing so, because then you hurt yourself within the SEC and seeding purposes. So it's a tough situation to be in. But you're going to have to battle. And Tuesday, it doesn't get any easier. It does not get easier.
No, it does not. I mean, I'll tell you what, looking at this ball game on Tuesday, well, I mean, someone's gonna have to step up big time. You know who I think it needs to be?
Who?
Kobe Bryant. You know, in it, after the 23-point explosion where he goes 7-9 from 3 against Florida, he's averaging like 5.4 points per game in these last 5 games, shooting 26% from 3. I mean, I think he was 2 or 3 against Alabama. Besides that, I mean, it's been 1 for 3, 1 for 5. I mean, it's been rough. He's got to get back going. I mean, we need him to shoot the ball. And heck, I mean, he's having trouble getting them up even. It's not like he's going 2 for 10. He's not getting them up. He's going 1 for 3.
I was going to talk about that. I think him and Jackson Robinson need to shoot the ball way more than they are right now. Jackson's shooting over 40% in both field goal categories, just regular and 3-point percentage for the last 4 games or 5 games, something like that.
Yeah.
Both of those guys need to shoot the ball more. Yeah. Because Jackson clearly is making them at this point. So get him the ball. We need to start. I feel like we pass up too many shots. We pass up too many open looks, trying to get a better look that might not be there. Take those shots when you get them. Because clearly you saw it. We had very hard time scoring on Saturday. So take those open shots when they're there. Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to – I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough without Andrew Carr because he's the guy that you can feed down low when the other team's on one of their runs.
Just to just get a quick 2 points, shut it down a little bit.
Exactly, just to simmer down the run and just get everyone collected for a little bit. But you don't have that anymore because Amari Williams doesn't have the touch that Andrew Carr does. Now, he is 7 feet tall and looks like the Hulk, but he doesn't have the touch that Andrew Carr does. So it doesn't work the same with him.
You got any more thoughts on the Vandy game? Because we got take a little intermission because I want to talk about some breaking news, and then we will talk about Tennessee. So, any other Vandy thoughts, Carson?
No, that's about it. I mean, just forget about that one. Like, just put it to the back of your mind. That's a bad loss.
It's not March.
Yeah, it's not March. Go and win on Tuesday. Use it as fire. That's what I would say. But don't let it linger.
Ugly loss can't happen, but it did happen. We got to move past it. That's just a reality. So, McDonald's All-American list comes. I also have some actual kind of breaking news from Joe Tipton. But McDonald's All-American teams come out. Jasper Johnson is snubbed. I've seen a lot of people saying, "Oh, it's the rule with Dillingham. That's changed." I read about that. They changed that rule. Overtime elite players are on. I mean, what's his Caleb Wilson?
Malik Thomas.
Not Caleb Wilson. Malik Thomas. There's another kid too, and I forget his name. The kid, I think he committed to like Cincinnati. Good, randomly, really good player. But was it Cincinnati? Now I'm tweaking about. Yeah, it was. Ball knower. So Gilbert Arenas' son, Elijah.
He reclassified.
Yeah. When did he make that reclassification?
I wasn't ever certain that it was official.
Well, Joe Tipton, right? Elijah Arenas. Well, first of all, Elijah Arenas is an All-American or a McDonald's All-American.
Yeah, I know.
And then Joe Tipton just tweets, Elijah Arenas on threes, number 10 overall recruit in the 2025 class, down to 5 schools per his father's podcast: Kentucky, Louisville, USC, Kansas, Arizona. I didn't even know we were in on this kid.
I did, but it was because I figured him as a 2026 recruit. I hadn't realized he actually jumped into the class, but I would say go after him. He's a stud.
And what position is he? I seriously hadn't heard anything about him.
He's a guard. I'm pretty sure. Well, either he's a guard, but
he looks like he's a 2.
Yeah.
I don't see a way in the world he comes here to play with Jasper Johnson. Do you see that happening?
Probably not. I would say right now he's trending towards Louisville just because his sister is going to play there for either volleyball or soccer or something.
He's going to play where?
Louisville or the team up north.
Yeah. They're really good this year though. How many top 25 wins do they have?
That's so funny, bro. Like, I can't stand that. The SEC is so dominant and the ACC is so garbage. Like,
don't you disrespect the elite ACC?
They are garbage. Beaumont Middle School could be in the ACC this year.
What happened to the ACC and the ACC? I mean, they dominated us in the ACC SEC challenge. So
Clemson beat us, so we can't talk too much crap.
That is true. 2 of our best 5 teams in the conference lost, which is funny. But still, I mean, what was it? Freaking 14-2 or whatever? 12,
yeah,
whatever.
It was dominance.
Yeah. So
the only good team in the ACC is Duke.
Yeah, and they're really good.
Yeah, they're really good. I think they're really good.
So moving on to the Tennessee game, like we said, they're Malachi Moreno's McDonald's All-American. Good for him. Cool for a Kentucky kid. Jasper Johnson snubbed. Very annoying. And then Gilbert Arenas' son put us in his top 5. Those are our recruiting stuff. Now, this Tennessee game, Carson. I mean, you can't lose 3 games in a row in this conference. And it's a tough game to have as your can't lose 3 games in a row game. Mm-hmm. We have got to play well. We have got to show up. I think you're going to do it without Andrew Carr. If I had to guess, I mean, like I said, with the verbiage Coach Pope used, I don't see Andrew Carr suiting up. So, I mean, you're going to need players like Ainsley Allman and Trent Noah to step up. But to me, who needs to step up is Kobe Brea's got to – seriously, Kobe Brea against this suffocating Tennessee defense who just held Auburn to 53 points. Tennessee lost that game, but, I mean, they gave Auburn everything they could have with Broome back on the court. I mean, you've got to see Kobe Brea shoot the ball well. I think that's going to be a real difference maker in this game, Carson.
I'll tell you what you can't do. Can't turn the ball over 17 times. You have no shot in hell.
Yeah. You turn the ball over, you're losing by 25 points. If you turn the ball over 17 times.
You will get blown out if you turn the ball over 17 times. So that has to change immediately.
Yeah.
And the assist numbers have to go up for you to see any chance in Knoxville.
Yeah, I agree. I got a side question for you before we move on to keep talking about the Tennessee game. What are your thoughts on everything going on with Seth Greenberg and Kentucky fans?
Yeah, Seth Greenberg's a huge Cal guy. Him and Cal are friends. He's basically telling Kentucky fans how to be Kentucky fans, which is not cool. But I mean, he can think what he wants. He's just going to back up Cal no matter what. It doesn't really affect me. He's kind of washed anyways.
I just don't. To me, the annoying part about it is how because what he got upset about, right, is how Kentucky fans were kind of taking a victory lap with how bad Arkansas's been.
Yeah. Well, then don't shit on Kentucky fans when we hire Mark Pope and say that Cal's going to be awesome at Arkansas. Why can't we talk trash when it doesn't work out that way?
So, I mean, Cal's been bad. Mark Pope's been good. I mean, we're the number 12 team in the country right now. So I just that irked me. I was reading about that. I saw something about that, but I was thinking about that because
it irked me too.
So with Tennessee, I mean, Chaz Lanier, man, you and I were watching that Auburn game at Aldine's. We were in a great state of mind watching it.
That pull-up three was nuts.
He had a couple threes where I just went, damn. I mean, he had some tough shots.
It's like coming from downtown. It is. Yeah. I mean, he pulled up like almost as soon as he crossed half court, and he was fading.
Tennessee as a team went 4 of 22 from three. There were 7 made 3-pointers in that game with 42 shot between the two teams. That's crazy.
They'll hit over 10 against us.
I mean, I wouldn't be crazy surprised. But, I mean, to me, the kid you got to watch out for on this team, this Gainey kid, watching him play a few games, and obviously he's been at Tennessee for a little while. You know, he came off the bench against Auburn. He comes off the bench, and he's their third leading scorer with 11 points per game. He's that gritty. He can shoot the three. He'll get you rebounds. He plays the game the right way. Obviously, we're going to talk about Zakai Ziegler and Chaz Lanier, but something about that Gainey kid, I'm telling you, that kid is a really good player, and he does the dirty work for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he is. He's been real good for them. The biggest thing is limiting Lanier. I mean, you cannot let him go crazy on you. Like if that kid goes for 30 plus, you don't win that game. So I think that's a big matchup to watch. I think you probably stick Otega on him and then have Lamont with Ziegler, because Ziegler loves to dictate the pace. He's huge for that. I would love to see our defense be more aggressive against them. Like try to go and get steals, try to turn them over, because when Tennessee's in their set defense, they're really, really hard to beat. So I would love for us to up the aggressiveness against Tennessee.
And I think too, like getting out in transition helps that too. Like you said, when you let them get set, they're really tough to score on. You give yourself a lot better chance if you are running out and having opportunities to score that way. Their defense is number 1 in KenPom right now for a reason. I mean, and Auburn's offense is so it was the number 1 offense in KenPom versus the number 1 defense. And I think you could make the argument that defense won.
It didn't
Auburn
win the
won
game.
that game because their defense is better than Tennessee's offense.
Yeah.
That's why they won that game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Auburn's offense is number 1 and Tennessee shut them down. Broom had a good game in his return, but I mean, like I said, Auburn I think they went 4 of 20 from 3. I mean, a team that shoots a pretty good percentage. Like, it was a rough game for Auburn offensively because of Tennessee. I mean, they're going to make it tough on us all game long to score the rock, and we're going to have to figure some stuff out.
That's why you have to be that much better on the defensive end of the ball, because you're not going to be able to get those opportunities like you normally would on the offensive end. And upping the aggressiveness and forcing more turnovers has to be a key in this game, because you got to get those transition run out threes when Kentucky gets those, you go on a 9-0 run real quick. So it starts with the defense. Defense translates to offense in this game, and that'll be the biggest key to this game.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. Finding the way to score is going to be tough, though. I mean, it's going to be, but we got to be good defensively. I think you're exactly right. I mean, because there's been a lot of games we've been Texas A&M, we did a good job. And Texas A&M, Tennessee, to me, are similar teams because they're not great offensively, but they're now. I think that Tennessee's star player is better than Wade Taylor. You all know my thoughts on Wade Taylor. I think Chaz Lanier is better than Wade Taylor, but still, I mean, and obviously Wade Taylor didn't play against us, but I think that they're a better. They're just a better Texas A&M. They're good offensively. They're good on the glass. They're good in every aspect, but they're just not elite offensively. So if we shut them down, this could be a game where I'd love to muck this up like that Auburn game and win this one like 65-55 or win it like that. Like, I mean, I'm probably going to predict us to lose this game, but if we were going to win it, I don't see us scoring more than 75 points because I think it's going to be really mucked up because I think our defense has to muck it up as well. I just think we could win.
I mean, I can see that, but also I would like our chances if the score gets up in the 80s.
That is true too, because
they're not going to score,
and they don't play pace basketball like we do. So I agree with you, but I just love to see us win a game at their pace. I think it would say a lot about us. It's not going to be easy to do, but it would be really cool to see us do it. So I do agree with you on that ball game. So what are some other keys in this one, Carson?
Yeah, I mean, Lamont has to be better with the ball. I think Ortega has to play really, really solid defense on Lanier. I think you have to try. You need to at least be close in the rebounding category because the rebounding category and the turnover category. I think if you win both of those, you win the game. I think without a doubt, you win both of those, you win the game. So those are two huge keys for me. Keeping them off the glass so they don't get extra chances and then turning them over in return to get us better chances. I think that is the key to this game.
I'm in agreement with you there. I think that slowing Lanier, I'd like to see us get out and run a lot. I'm going to keep reiterating that. I'd love to see us be able to get out and run. If you don't let them get that defense set, that's how you can score some points on them. And we're a team that already likes to do that in the first place. So I'd love to see us run and get out there to really, find a way to score that way. So I think that's going to be a big key for us as well. Tennessee, they've got some good players with Lanier. They got those good forwards. The one kid whose name I don't even want to try, the one from Croatia, he's pretty good, about 10 points per game.
A lot of their players are just really, really freaking good at defense. Mayshak couldn't hit the side of a barn, but he is a dog on defense.
He's one of those players, and I hate to say this because, as y'all know, we do not like Tennessee. Okay, I just now read that banner, by the way. That's hilarious.
I had to.
I did not see that. That's great. No shout out down there. But looking at the Mayshak is a player to me. Just watching him, I mean, obviously we've seen him for years at Tennessee. That Auburn game, I mean, he just does the dirt. I mean, Gainey is like that too, but he scores more. Mayshak, he's averages 6 points a game. But he does everything right, and he's an elite defender. He made some great defensive plays on that game on Saturday. He plays that game that way, and you need a player like that to win basketball games. He's a guy you got to know what he's going to do defensively. I mean, right now he averages 2 steals a game. I mean, that's got to be, and Ziegler's averages 2 too. Man, that just shows.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody on their team rebounds and plays defense well. And that's what Rick Barnes has always been about, though. That's the way he coaches. So, I mean, their offensive production is not great, but those guys can guard the basketball.
I want to see where that is in like steals per game. Is that not as high as I thought? Yeah, Zakai Ziegler is 38th in the country in steals per game, and Mayshak's just right behind him because he's only 0.1 steals per game behind him there. But I mean, I think that's what you can have to do in this game. I'd love to see Brea play well because, I mean, they're going to be contested, but you got to make some threes. I mean, everything's going to be contested. So we got to make some threes in this ball game with the hand in your face. It's going to be tough to get wide open looks. You're just not going to get a lot of them against this defense. So Brea is probably our best contested shooter when it comes to hand in his face because he's such a good shooter. So get him some looks. I don't care if there's a hand. Let it fly. Like, if you got a hand in your face, let it fly at Kobe Bryant. I don't care. You got to find a way to score even with a hand in your face. So, because I think
be one of those
some opportunities.
It might be one of those situations too, right? I mean, we saw Jackson get in that little hole and just start feeling bad and shooting bad, and once he just started shooting more and finally made more of them, he got in the groove. So maybe we just need to feed him the ball.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I agree with you. Carson, you got anything else you want to get to? Predictions?
No, we can get to predictions. It's going to be a tough game.
I think it's my turn to go first today.
Your turn first?
I think it is.
Let's preface it first. Our MVP represented on cam. Our MVP was no MVP because when you lose to Vanderbilt, you don't get it.
You don't deserve one. Ever since we started the MVP, we're 0-2. We need to get rid of the MVP.
Yeah.
No more MVP. I'm just kidding. We'll keep doing it. We need to win a game doing it though. But I think we're gonna lose. I think that if this was in Rupp Arena, I think we can win. If it was in Rupp Arena and we had Carr, I'd predict us to win.
Yeah.
If it was in Rupp Arena and we had Carr, and we don't have Carr, I'd predict it to be a tight game, maybe where we edge them out by a little bit. On the road without Carr, I don't see us winning this game. I think they're going to play. I think that we are unfortunately going to be kind of roped into playing their style of basketball. I think we lose this one like 71-65. I think we hang around but lose.
I think that's definitely fair. And I've been torn on my decision because I think my head's telling you one thing and your heart's telling you the other. You know, one of those situations.
I think you need to predict us to lose because it'll give us a chance to win. I think that's what we need to do.
No, and when you predict us to lose, what normally happens? Good thing.
Normally we win, but I did that against Alabama and we freaking lost.
Yeah, but that was different. I'm gonna predict us. Oh gosh, I'm gonna predict us to win. I mean, we lost 2 games in a row, right? How many times has Kentucky lost 3 games in a row? Not crazy amount of times, right? So I'm going to play percentages because I absolutely hate them. So I'm not going to predict us to lose. I'm going to predict us to win 80-79 on a game winner. And
who's going to make the game winner?
The game winner, Jackson Robinson is going to hit the game winner.
Is it going to be a 2 or a 3?
It's going to be a corner 3.
So we're going to take the 3 when a 2 would tie it. We're going to take the 3 for the win.
For the win. It's going to be a drawn-up play out of a timeout. It's going to win us.
Are you going to be like Vicky Valancourt and when she predicts a score and then the ESPN guy looks over at her like, that's going to be you when we win 80-79 on Jackson Robinson? That would be awesome. Now you have to go put $1 on that.
Yeah.
On correct score, put $1 on correct score. It'll be fun.
Mm-hmm. But I'll also take Robinson as my MVP because if you hit that kind of shot, you're going to be the MVP.
There you go. When you mean Winnie, it's that kind of shot.
Mm-hmm.
Hate that this game's on a Tuesday. I wish this was a Burl Brew Saturday game.
But, me too. Tennessee's honestly, that's another way to look at it. Tennessee's lucky that it's a Tuesday night.
Yeah, so I agree. I'm with you. Anything else, Carson, before we get out of here?
Yeah, I want to shout out the Eagles. They're the only reason I'm here today because if they had lost, I would have been very, very upset with the past weekend. But
it would have been a rough weekend.
It was a rough weekend, sports wise. So shout out them for keeping me happy. Defense might win games, but it definitely doesn't win championships. Go Cats.
Love it. That's going to do it for us today. Obviously, we know it's coming up tomorrow, but we also know what is coming up on Saturday. So on Thursday, we will preview that ball game. It is going to be a fun one on Saturday. Fun one tomorrow too, but next time you see us, we'll be talking about the win over Tennessee, hopefully, and previewing the Arkansas game. Really appreciate y'all being here. Hope everyone has a great rest of their Monday. Enjoy the ball game tomorrow. Go Cats, and we will see y'all next time.